The sum and product of the roots of each equation. Para ma-determine nyo kung ano ang sum and product ng roots given the equation, first is dapat naka general form siya, or sa iba they call it standard, pero dapat ganitong form yung kagaya sa number 1 and number 3. So later on, kapag hinanap na natin yung sum and product ng number 2, dapat ililipat natin to the other side, or we could apply the addition property of equality. We will be adding both sides by negative 15. Okay? And this will be, ito po yung magiging formula natin para hanapin ang ating sum and product of the roots. Okay, so as you can see, it is x squared minus the negative b over a of x plus c over a equals to 0. So, para makuha natin yung sum of the products and also the product, sum of the roots and product of the roots rather, identify muna natin yung a, b, and c. And if we're done identifying the a, b, and c, hanapin na natin yung negative b over a. This is our sum. Negative b over a po talaga ha. And then c over a. That is the product of the roots. Okay? Let's do that on number 1. Our a is 2. B is negative 3. And c is positive 5. So, hanapin natin yung sum is equals to, again, that is negative b over a. So, ang negative daw dahil negative yon, di negative 3 over, ano yung a natin? 2. So, that is negative times negative 3 is positive 3 over 2. So, this is the sum of our roots. And then, let's have now the product, which is kung ano yung c over a. C over a. Ang c natin is 5 and our a is 2. So that will be our product. Now let's proceed to number 2. Like I said, transpose natin. So, and then ang gawin na lang natin ay negative, kasi positive kanina, so magiging negative 15 is equals to 0. So, identify natin yung a dito na lang sa taas. A is 1, b is negative 2, c is negative 15. Okay, let's now find the sum of our number 2. Sum is negative of our b, which is negative 2 over 1. So, simplifying, this is 2. Next is product. C over a. Ang c natin ay negative 15 over 1. Or we could just say negative 15. And last but not the least, number 3. Identify natin yung a, which is negative 1. Yung b is positive 2. C is negative 1. So, let's see. Our sum is negative of 2. Kasi yung b natin is 2 over negative 1. So, negative divided negative is positive. 2 divided 1 is 2. So, our sum is 2. And product is equals to c over a. C is negative 1. A is also negative 1. So, when we simplify, that's 1. So, that is how you will find the or determine the sum and product of the roots given an equation. On the previous discussion that I made is about identifying the sum of the roots and the product of the roots given our equation. This time naman, ang pinapahanap ay ang quadratic equation na ang given naman ngayon ay yung sum of the roots and also the product of the roots. And if that will be the case, kapag sum and product po yung given, we will just be substituting to this. So, laging x squared minus kung ano yung sum. Of course, yung sum na yun, ito times natin kay minus or negative. And then, multiply it with x. Plus, kung ano man yung product na yan, ito times natin sa positive. And then, equal it with 0. That is how we will find we will write the quadratic equation if the given, on this case, is the sum and the product. So, let's do that on our example here. So, on the first example, in writing the quadratic equation using the sum and product of the roots given, so dahil andyan na yung sum, isa-substitute lang natin. Sabi ko kanina, x squared minus yung sum, and that is negative 4. Don't forget yung variable x. Yan yung common error ng mga previous students ko. They forgot to substitute or yung variable x dyan. And then, plus kung ano yung product natin, n7. And then, you will equal it to 0. And then, simplify na natin. So, dito ko na po isusulat yung pinaka-answer ko. Or yung pinaka-answer dito sa given na to. So, ang ating final answer is x squared. And then, negative times negative will give us positive 4. And again, don't forget the variable x. And then, dahil positive naman to, positive din yun. So, plus 7. And then, equals to 0. Ganyan lang po ang gagawin kapag po ang given ay sum and product. And then, yung second example po na ipapakita ko, if the case is may fraction. Okay? So, again, let's substitute x squared minus, this is 3 halves. Again, don't forget the variable x, plus, and then our product is 1/3 equals to 0. And if we have, actually, class, kapag na-substitute na natin, consider naman na yung quadratic equation. But, ang pinapagawa ko po dyan, class, para wala tayong denominator, gantong form lang siya, and so that we could check our a, yung value nung a sa ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Let's multiply both sides by the LCD of our denominator. Dalawa yung denominator natin, but sometimes class may given po na ito walang walang denominator, o kaya ito yung walang denominator. So, since we have two denominators, let's now find the LCD. The LCD of 2 and 3 is 6. So, we will be multiplying both sides by 6. So, and then we will just distribute this. Make sure to distribute po ha. Hindi po pwedeng sa first term lang natin yung i-multiply. And then ito, unahin ko na kasi 0 times any number is still 0. So, 6 times x squared is 6x squared. 6 times 3 divide 2, or para sa kanos madali, divide muna bago times. 6 divide 2 will give us 3 times 3 is 9. Which is ganun din naman ang magiging sagot kapag inunan natin yung times. 6 times 3 is 18, divide 2 will give us 9. Kaya lang, para sa akin, mas maganda na yung pinababa muna natin, which is we divide first bago nating i-multiply, bago natin pinalaki. Kesa yung malaki siya, kasi we multiply, we expand the number, and then saka natin hahatiin. Okay? So, on this case naman, pareho lang yung answer na. So, ito, kagaya nito, 6 divided 3 is 2 times 1. That's 2. Okay, so that is our quadratic equation given the sum and the product. So, this is the continuation. You are still asked to find or write the quadratic equation using the following given. This time, roots na yung given. Hindi na siya sum and product. Kapag sum and product kasi, again, we will just be substituting to this. I don't know kung, yan, dito po. Doon po. Or kahit dito. Remember that this is your sum and this is your product. Pero ngayon po, roots na. Kapag sinabing roots na yung given, tsaka po natin hahanapin ang sum and product using the given roots. Of course, when we say sum, i-add natin yung roots. Pag sinabi natin product, i-multiply naman natin yung roots. So, let's find the sum. Sum of negative 3 plus 8. So, negative 3 plus 8. Negative 3 plus 8 is 5. So, dun sa x squared minus nung sum, ang ilalagay natin dun ay 5. And then, to get the product, ita-times natin. Negative 3 times 8. And that is negative 24. So, yun yung ilalagay natin sa plus product. Ano yung product natin? Ayan. Equals 0. And then, we will be simplifying kagaya ng ginawa natin kanina. So, or yung kapag ang given ay sum and product, kasi nakuha na natin yung sum and product natin. So, dahil negative 24, magiging minus 24 to, equals to 0. So, this is our quadratic equation. Okay, next is kapag ang roots natin ay 3/4 and negative 2. So, hanapin muna natin yung sum ng 3/4 and negative 2. So, gawin natin fraction si negative 2. Gawin natin silang similar fraction. So, gawin nating denominator ay 4. So, dahil over 1 to, divide 1. So, magiging negative 8. So, this is negative 5 over 4. So, that is our sum. And then, let's proceed to the product. Ang product is 3/4 times negative 2. And then, we will be simplifying it. Kasi divisible yun. So, this will be negative 3/2. And then, we will be substituting. Okay, so since the sum is negative 5/4, so negative 5/4 of x plus, this is negative 3/2. Okay, and as you can see, we have a denominator. So what we will do is to multiply both sides by our LCD. LCD of 4 and 2 is 4. So ito ay magiging 0 pa din. And then 4 times x squared is 4x squared. And then 4 divided 4 is 1 times 5 is 5. And then dahil negative times negative to, magiging that's 5x. And then 4 divided 2 is 2 times 3 is 6. And dahil negative yon, magiging negative 6. So 4x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0 is our equation, quadratic equation. We are still writing the quadratic equation given the roots. So we still have 3 remaining examples that I will show you. And this is a different case, although as you can see, pare-pareho silang may radical sign or square root. I will show you how to find the sum and product. Kasi nga, roots yung given. Hahanapin natin yung sum and product. I will show you how we will find for the sum and product of the following given. Okay, let's start with letter E, which is the given is positive, negative, square root of 3. Kapag ganito po, ang ibig sabihin niyan, ang roots po natin ay isang square root of 3, isang negative square root of 3. And of course, kapag kinuha natin yung sum niyan, we will be adding a square root of 3 and a negative square root of 3. At kapag po, kahit po may radical sign o wala, example, ang given po natin is positive 3 and negative 3. Kahit wala pong radical, ang lagi pong sagot niyan kasi same number siya, tapos unlike sign. So, we will be subtracting them and it will give us 0. So, wala po tayong sum kapag ganyan po. And then, to find the product, of course, we will be multiplying square root of 3 with negative square root of 3. And that is negative square root of 9. Kasi 3 times 3 dun sa loob. Since we could get the square root of 9, which is 3, pero don't forget yung minus. So, that will be our product. And then, that's the time we will be substituting it. X squared minus 0x plus negative 3 is equals to 0. At 0 times any number 0. So, wala tayo nyan. You will not write 0x. Okay po? So, we have x squared minus 3 equals 0. So, this is the quadratic equation using that given. Our given now is 3 positive negative square root of 2. We still have a radical sign on our roots. So again, we need to find for the sum and the product since our given is roots. So our sum, when you are going to find for the sum using this, it's like addition of binomials. So we will be adding 3 square root of 2 and 3 negative square root of 2. So aligning the similar term. So 3 plus 3 will give us 6 and positive square root of 2 added to or adding to negative square root of 2 will give us 0. So our sum is 6. And then getting the product, it's like FOIL method. And if you remember the product of the sum and difference of two terms na magbibigay sa atin ng answer na difference of two squares, yun po yung concept nun. So, it's like 3 times 3 will give us 9. And then 3 times negative 2 will give us negative 3 square root of 2. And then positive 2 square root of positive square root of 2 times 3 will give us positive 3 square root of 2. And square root of 2 times negative square root of 2 is negative square root of 4 na kung saan ito po ay unlike sign, so matatanggal po yun, and square root of 2 will give us 2. So 9 minus 2 will give us 7. So we have now our sum and product. So what we will do is x squared minus 6, which is our sum, plus 7, which is our product, equals it with 0. And Our final answer is x squared minus 6x plus 7 is equals to 0. My last example in writing the quadratic equation given the roots. Let's now find the sum and product using the given roots. So, ang ating given roots is 2 positive negative I square root of 3. Remember, when we get the product later, I squared is equals to negative 1. Let's find the sum. Kagaya ng ginawa ko kanina, sabi ko, it's like adding a binomial to another binomial. Aligning the similar terms kasi a whole number will be only added to a whole number, or rather integer to an integer, and radical number to a radical number. So, kagaya kanina, but this time kasi may I tayo. Pero, hindi naman magbabago yon. So, we will have 2 plus 2 will give us 4. And dahil unlike sign to, it will give you 0. So, our sum is 4. And then, to find the product, I will be showing you the 2 positive I square root of 3 and 2 minus I square root of 3. And mention ko kanina on the previous example na this is the product of the sum and difference of two terms na magbibigay sa atin ng difference of two squares. Kanina yung pinakita ko is true form method, but this time I will show it in shortcut na lang. Kunin na lang natin yung square ng first term, which is yung 2 squared, minus, kasi ang answer kasi nito is difference of two squares. So, mga estudyante ko, I am mentioning it as DTS, or difference of two squares. And then sa Google, parang they are telling that it is the DOTS kasi difference of two squares. So, when we say difference of two squares, the first term and the second term is a perfect square separated by minus. Kaya ngayon, ito yung magiging formula natin. Kapag meron tayong sum and difference na roots, na yun yung pinagkaiba nila. So, ang second term natin is I square root of 3, and then square natin yun. So, equals, this is 4, kasi 2 squared is 4, and then minus, it will always be minus sa formula natin. And then, remember I squared and square root of 3 squared. Isa-isahin ko muna dito sa part na to so that they will see kung paano yun nakuha. So, 4 minus I squared will give us negative 1. And then, square root of 3, the square root of 3 will give us square root of 9. And when we get the square root of 9, it will give us 3. So, pag pinag-times natin to, it will be 4 plus 3, which will give us 7. Bakit naging plus? Kasi minus to, tapos negative to, change the sign of the subtrahend. But for me, ako minumultiply ko po yan. I consider this negative times negative. It will give me positive. Kaya naging plus, and then times 3, kaya plus 3. So, let's just write our final answer. So, dito na lang. So, x squared minus yung sum plus yung product, and then equals with 0. Thank you.